Hello, welcome to lecture 42. Uh, Probably last lecture or maybe one more of the semester. We have reached the end of week 14 and I'm supposed to teach 15 week, but the last 15 week would be reserved for the midterm exam and final exam. So either 42, lecture 42 or 43, we'll see, will be the final lecture. Okay, we were in the middle of talking about hybrid equilibrium. Uh, I feel for you. It's not easy. It's quite complicated stuff because, as I told you already, the incomplete information game is maybe 10 times more complicated than complete information game. But it's fun if you just go through it and with some agony, and then if you do it 2-3 times, you do realize what all these numbers mean. I mean, you the USA saw North Korea fight in T1, and it knows that it's either North Korea is really crazy or North Korea is not crazy but pretend to be crazy. And of course, whether you think it's crazy or not crazy, like you send the CIA and want to check out whether North Korean leader is a crazy man or not crazy man. Why? Because in this situation, if we have more information, if you're quite sure North Korea is crazy, you should not send. You're sacrificing so many soldiers for that. But if North Korea is actually sane but pretend to be crazy and you just scared off, then you would be like a dumb. I mean, you would be an idiot of the world. So, in every step, nothing is sure, but like this updating of your opponent, enemy, the other part is really, really matters. And real situation, this judgment is not easy at all. USA in T1, would they choose status quo or attack after knowing all this? First of all, if it choose status quo, it's 0. USA choose attack with 0.7. The North Korea is sane. Okay? And with 1 point alpha, the same North Korea in T1 choose to surrender. Then the USA will get 1 in period 1, T1, and attack again, North Korea will surrender again, 1 plus 1. So North Korea sane, surrender with 1 minus alpha probability because it's randomized, then this will happen. You will get 1 plus 1. If North Korea is sane but choose to fight, or North Korea is insane, then you will face North Korea in T1 who fight, like over here. So saying North Korea choose surrender, or North Korea fight, either because sane but fight, choose to fight with alpha, or insane. Then, because North Korea fought you, you will get minus T1 in period 1. Minus 1 in T1. What about T2? In T2, the payoff is 0. You have this large left-hand side, which is what if you attack North Korea? Right-hand side, what if you choose status quo? They are same. So whether USA in T2, after watching North Korea fight, choose to attack or status quo, it will get 0. Because we set up the equilibrium such that the USA will randomize between that. Status quo 0, attack complicated, but ultimately it should be 0. Otherwise, USA will not randomize. So that's why it is 0 here. Okay? Think it over. It's not automatic. It's not easy, but you will understand after a couple of minutes. So if you calculate all this, it's going to be 0.4 multiplied 2 plus 0.6 multiply negative 1, which is 0.8 minus 0.6, 0.2. So would you attack or status quo in T1? Attack. So in the end, this would be the hybrid equilibrium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, already common thing. Then 6, North Korea sane, will fight with probability 3/7, surrender with probability 4/7. The belief that North Korea is sane when the USA watch North Korea in T1 to fight is half. And when the USA watch, observe North Korea in T1 fight, USA will choose status quo with probability half, attack with probability half. And summing all this, USA will, in T1, rather attack than choose status quo because attack gives 0.2, status quo 0. This is the hybrid equilibrium. Okay? You would be a genius to understand all this by just listening to me once. Maybe you are. If not, no surprise, you just take the lecture 2-3 times, then, of course, you would understand. I would be very surprised if you don't understand after 3, 4, 5 times. You will. Okay, so this is perfect Bayesian equilibrium. This is so complicated. Professor explained as if this is actually being played between USA and North Korea, and maybe, but is it common? Kind of. Adverse selection, I told you there are 2 kinds of principal agent problem. The one we spent almost 2 weeks is the moral hazard, where the people can do something, but the agent do not do that and cheat. Oh, I did that, like lie. Okay? Adverse selection is something else. This is incomplete information game. You cannot do it. You cannot be a genius. But when someone asks, are you smart? You know that you are not smart, but in order to get a job, you said, oh, I'm very smart. So everybody in the job interview say, I'm smart, I work hard, I'm obedient, and etc., etc., etc. There are 2 types of workers, the elite workers, E-type, and average workers, A-type. So E-type is better than A-type. The E-type will make $200 for the firm. And if he quit the job, do his own business, $160 if work independently alone. And the worker, like when you are doing a job interview with the college graduate, 25% of them are E-type. The problem is the elite type knows themselves that I'm an elite type, but then the person who's hiring this person, like Yonsei University, cannot tell whether it's elite type or average type. But Yonsei University knows that. It's Yonsei company, okay? Yonsei Corporation knows that with probability of 25%, it's elite type. With probability 75%, it's average type. The average type makes only half of the money that elite type makes and can never make anything if it becomes independent. So it's like you work for the company, Yonsei Corporation, or you get nothing. On the other hand, elite type is ready to leave. This is kind of reservation wage. If you don't pay me $160, I'll quit the job. Bye-bye Yonsei Corporation. I'll do my own business. I still can make $160 thing. What will happen? Okay, there is like 1500 something, like 500 years ago, there is a British economist or government officer who deals with money named Gresham. And Gresham's law means he says the following: bad money drives out good money. So bad money is counterfeit. Okay, counterfeit. Maybe counterfeit problem is really serious at the time. But if you have a store and you do not tell the counterfeit with the genuine real money, It's not like you are going to have some real money and some bad money, counterfeit. All you have is the counterfeit because people will keep giving you the counterfeit because you cannot tell, and they will take only good money out of you because they can tell the counterfeit from the good money. Okay? Same thing here. If the firm cannot tell the types, the elite type, average type, who will stay? Only the average type stay. Why? If they cannot tell, and they know that 75% of them are average type, only making $100 for the company, and only 25% make $200. When you are hiring 10 people, maybe 2 or 3 people are only 100 people, 25 people on average are the elite type. So they are on average making you $125. $125. So the maximum you can pay them, if you pay them $125, you're not making any profit, but you're a very generous person. You give all the profit back to the worker, employee. Still, the elite type quit because it can make 160 and now it is making 200, but it's getting paid 125 only. So it says like, bye-bye, sayonara, I want to have my own job and making 160 instead of 125. On the other hand, the A type, average type, will never leave because it leaves, it gets 0. 125, that's great because I'm making only $100 for the company, Yonsei Corporation, and they're giving me $25 more. Yonsei Corporation cannot tell the elite type from the average type, but it's not dumb. So it says like, oh, I know I cannot tell the elite type, so all of them left. So I'm pretty sure everybody left still here are average type. So you're making only $100 for me. I have no reason to pay you 125 because you are all average type, $100 only kind of thing. So in the end, all the good money, good worker quit. Only the bad money, average workers stay. And the owner of the company knows that, even though you cannot tell the good worker from the bad worker, so it realizes I have only the average bad worker employee, so I pay them low payment, period. Even though I want to hire some smart one, unfortunately, I don't have that eye to tell the good one from the other. Education game. There is an economist named Spencer who got Nobel Prize, and he thought about this education game. I meet some like parents who are or the company man who said like, oh, what is university doing? University teaching only the useless thing, and make it worse, it's useless and difficult. Difficult stuff, not T. Difficult stuff. What's the point? I mean, fun and useless, maybe. Difficult but useful, maybe. But useless and difficult? Boring? What are you doing? Basically, we are in a business of education game. For the elite type, we think if you are an elite type employee in the future, you are smart and able, you will get the GPA 3.5 very easily, maybe cost of $20. But you are an average type, then getting 3.5 GPA, very difficult. Maybe you can do it, but you have to work day and night, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 4 years. Then it costs you $150. How is it possible? The university design is so. So university is not teaching anything, but in order to get 3.5 from these useless and difficult courses, the smart one, the elite one, can go through it very easily, like $5 a year. But the average one have to pay a lot, 150 in 4 years. Okay? Okay, so let's admit that. Let's assume that university designed the course very correctly, accurately, delicately so that this is true. Would the elite type take the course? Probably the Yonsei Corporation say, okay, if you get GPA 3.8, 3.5 from Yonsei University, we are going to hire you and we are going to pay you 200. Would you enter Yonsei University? Yes. You enter Yonsei University, get GPA 3.5. During that time, you cost it $20. You get paid 200. In total, your net profit is 180, which is bigger than 160. The alternative, you forget about Yonsei University. They're teaching me something useless. So I go out and make money. That is 160. But if you somehow go through this useless university for years, then you are going to pay 200 and your cost was 20. So 180. 180 is more than 160. So they will take your course. They will enter university and they'll graduate with GPA 3.5. On the other hand, if you are an average type, you would be thinking, oh, what if I pretend to be the elite type? So I enter Yonsei University, get GPA 3.5 with a cost of 150. Then I'll get paid 200. My cost was 150. So my net profit would be 50. Wait a minute. If I don't go to Yonsei University, and like I said, I'm average type, I never say I'm elite type, then Yonsei Corporation will give me 100, which is better than pretend to be the elite and getting 50. 200 minus 150 is 50. So the university designed the difficulty of course so well, if it did. People, the Yonsei Corporation, can use the Yonsei University to tell the elite type from the average type. Or from the elite workers, elite type's point of view, it can use the Yonsei University GPA system to signal that, oh, I'm here, I'm an elite, I'm a very able person, so pay me 200. It's signaling its elite ability by using the useless courses of Yonsei University. So, if someone asks you, why professor is not teaching me anything useful? That is our job. We are teaching useless thing in a great difficulty so that only the smart ones will get a high GPA and get a good job. Now, we think we are improving your human capital a little bit, but I cannot deny, this the designer of this education game get Nobel Prize in economics, and we cannot deny the university has a role as a signaling device. So if someone asks you how to overcome the Greshams Law, when your potential employer cannot tell the good ability from bad ability, you should signal using the university education. In old Chinese story, long time ago in China, a king in China loves good horses, the famous horses. So he heard the rumor that there is a famous, very fast horse, like far remote place, like a remote country. So he sent his man to that remote place to buy that horse. But then the man returned with a horse bone. Like, what? What is this horse bone? Oh, the famous horse died. So the only thing I can purchase is not the horse, but the remains of horse. Of course, the king was very upset, like, oh, you're stupid. I want horse, not the horse bones. But then the person who purchased the horse's bone said, please wait. Don't punish him. Please wait. Soon, the rumor gets out and everybody said, oh, there is a crazy Chinese king who even purchased the bones of that horse. And I look at me, I have this like fast and nice horse. If I bring him here, he will pay me a good money. So everybody gathered together, like, from the horse owner's point of view, you heard the rumor that the king wants a horse, you bring them there. The horse said, oh, I pay only the half price. That would be a disaster. You say no, and you have to walk back. That costs you a lot of time and money. So it would be very comforting that king is crazy about horse. Even though I demand high price, he will say yes to whatever the horse price. So they are not so sure about the potential horse buyer, the king's type. The king can be crazy about horse, pay any money, or the king is like stingy, like he never pays money. He said, I will pay a lot, but actually he does not pay a lot of money. So, but then the fact that he paid huge money, even the bones of dead horse, kind of signal that he is crazy kind of horse buyer. Okay? The modern TV shows a similar thing. The advertising as a cash burning. Why do people buy products that is heavily advertised? You saw a famous, beautiful actress on TV and said, like, oh, this car is so nice. This car runs like a bird and like really fast and everything. Come to think about it, that movie star, whether it's a man or a lady, do they really know a lot about the cars? I don't think so. I mean, they are singers and they are actors, they are good at that, but they would never even drive. They would have a chauffeur, somebody to drive their car. I don't believe the famous movie stars actually drive cars by themselves. No. So how come they can tell the good car from bad car? You got to be an engineer to tell one from the other. So why people believe them? Those people who know less about the car than even us. I mean, if they are like Nobel Prize winning, like scientists out there, and they say, oh, this car is scientifically really good, I may believe. But then still, they are just paid a lot of money and, like against their conscience, they may say that. If someone tell me like some like a strange smelly thing as delicious and pay me $1 million, I say like, oh, this is really good. So number one, many of them on TV are not expert. Number two, they are paid good money, they may lie. But why people believe in it? Answer number one, people are dumb. Yeah, some psychologists say, we are dumb. I agree. But then that's not all. We economists think human beings are not like totally dumb. We are smart animals. So the another explanation, logical one, is cash burning signal. When we saw a car, we do not know it's a good car, bad car. So it's a good car, it's a good type. Bad car, bad type. The company of own the car may lie, may not lie. But how can we tell whether it's a good car inside or a bad car inside? The cash burning, meaning that the company spends so much money by hiring these movie stars and advertise on TV their cars. So one can think, oh, what if that car actually is not good? So my friend's Bill purchased a car. He said like, oh, on the contrary to the advertising, the car really stinks. And then another friend, Tom, purchased a car. Oh, Bill is right. It's not good. If I have that rumor, I'll never purchase a car. Most of people never purchase a car. What's going to be happening? The company spent huge money on advertising on the movie stars, like big cost, and then it became very famous. Everybody know, and then everybody like, oh my God, The advertisement was totally wrong. Then nobody purchased a car. Then it would be a disaster because people would not purchase it. Number one, advertising cost is so huge that the company has so much cost. So the company would go almost bankrupted. Then one thing, why did the company advertise in the first place? Because it lost huge money. The company said, see, why we advertise so much if our car is not good, if we are not confident of our car, it would be very stupid for us to hire these all expensive movie stars to advertise on TV because we are going to go bankrupted. The only reasonable reason, the logical reason, explanation is that we are so confident of our car and we are telling you, please try. We are so confident. We are basically burning the cash in TV, spend so much money, like giving it the money to a movie star is burning the cash. Then you realize the only logical explanation is they are so confident about the quality of their car. So we'll be happy once we try. That's what they are saying. So let's try. The car must be good. Otherwise, the car sales person is a dumb person. And he doesn't look like a dumb person. So that is another signal. So advertising can be another signal by burning huge pile of cashes and saying we are so confident about our product quality. Okay? I'm supposed to end here at lecture 42, but I want to say a little bit more, so there will be extra lecture 43, which should be the last lecture in this game theory course.